In today's video, we'll be looking at how to make your indie game successful, and more importantly, how to make sure your indie game sells. There's a big difference between a quality indie game that gets released and a game that gets released that performs well from a monetary standpoint. The majority of indie games on Steam are not successful, or at least do not generate enough money to justify the years spent on them by the designer or the design teams. 64% of games on Steam earn less than $10,000, which after Steam's 30% take is only $7,000. However, 18% of indie games make between $10,000 to $50,000, 9% make between $50,000 to $200,000, and 9% make over $200,000. So, how do you create a game that is generating a return of tens of thousands of dollars or even more? The first thing to focus on when making your game is not to rush anything. With almost half of the games released on Steam making less than $5,000, it'd be crushing to see months or even years of your life down the drain with little or no return. Logically, it'd be far more beneficial for you to spend extra time on your game when you consider it quote-unquote done. This time can be spent bug testing, ironing out said bugs, fleshing out story, and any other number of things that lead to a more enjoyable, playable experience. Also, remember to test your game thoroughly with any friends or family members that you can. Far better to embarrass yourself by asking everyone to play your game and give you feedback, if it's going to make the difference between your game performing well upon release. Secondly, make sure to market your game months or even years before the release. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram and Twitter are all completely free to use platforms, and just one viral post about your game can make all the difference in the amount of players that want to buy your game before release. It doesn't matter whether it's a funny bug or a jump scare, because it will bring attention to your game, leading to that all-important cash prize upon release. This is especially important when it comes to Steam, because Steam's algorithm recommends your game to users based on how fast it is selling currently. Therefore, if you have even a few hundred people that are willing to buy your game on the release date, this essentially fools the algorithm into thinking your game is far more successful on the platform than it actually is, and it will subsequently recommend your game to thousands more Steam users, thereby generating even more of that all-important cash. The third thing to consider when creating a successful indie game on Steam is the genre of game you pick. The most successful genres from a monetary perspective are strategy, simulation, and RPG games, with RPG games being the most successful. Only 11% of role-playing games on Steam make no profit, 41% make up to $10,000, 19% make $10,000 to $25,000, 13% make $50,000 to $200,000, and 16% make over $2,000. With over a third of these games making more than $50,000, it seems a no-brainer to me that it would definitely be the genre to go for if you want to make money. However, it is important to remember that most indie games are a labour of love, which will surely turn out better if you go for the genre and style of game that you are passionate about. I myself am making an exploration game designed to reduce anxiety, and that is likely to make little to no money on Steam. Anyway, that was my take on how to give your game the best chance to be monetarily successful on Steam. If you want to check out where I got my facts and figures from, head to ind13games.com. I'll put the link in the description. I hope you liked the video. If you have any suggestions on how I can improve the quality of my videos, please make sure you tell me in the comments, and I'll do my very best to make the change. And make sure you like and subscribe, or I'm going to be yelling at no one forever. Thank you.